because I'm just too loyal to Pac.
What does that mean?
You're from the East Coast.
So's Pac. He was born in Brooklyn.
You're right.
Yeah, but what does that mean? How can you not be cool with Jay-Z?
I'm being a little funny.
Because of Pac.
Because it was deep.
Okay.
Mob
Deep.
My man.
Yeah, beef with them too.
Shook ones.
Yeah, beef with everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
Turn into a whole different person when that music comes on.
Did you see that?
Hey, Mr. Live Guy.
Welcome to the Porterweight Podcast. We are live today. I'm excited about that, of course. Call me Mr. Live. I like that.
Yeah, he got
Showtime.
When did you decide we're going live?
On the plane when I looked at you.
When he was born.
Remember, I text to see how I was trying to fill everybody out.
And
but
the response was lukewarm.
On the plane, yeah. Thank you, Cole. Shout out to the producers. When I looked at you on the plane, I said, I'm doing all the notes that I left at home. I said, yo, we gotta go live today. Ant's just looking at me like, I said, yeah, we don't have a choice.
Wait, we're live?
Yeah, we're live right now. Oh, I didn't tell you.
It's okay.
Did you know or did you not know? For real.
I think it's a good decision.
I think the only time we've been able to talk you out of a live was at paintball.
Yeah.
That was the only other time. Any other time you even float that we're gonna go live,
I was still trying to backdoor y'all about that. I don't know if you caught wind of that, but I still was trying to backdoor y'all.
We were like, hey, we just have to be united here, a united front, and stop that.
It is what it is, man. I love the live. All that being said, here's the thing. We had a great night of boxing last night. You know what? I don't think it was a great night of boxing. I think we had a great main event that gave us exactly what we expected. Mm-hmm. And I think the energy in the room was exactly what I think that even exceeded expectations, I believe. And I think to cap off the week in general, and having this first live with the Porterweight Podcast, travel
on the road.
Yeah, on the road.
Next to Ant on live shows before.
On the road live, and especially in New York, where you really like New York, and that was very apparent.
Yeah. Hey, New York show us a lot of love.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to New York, man.
Yeah.
Shout
all of New York.
Hey, yeah. Shout out to New York. Hey, one thing about New York, they can dress. Hey, that was some of the best dressing.
They got personality.
Yeah, and they show us a lot. They love the podcast.
Yeah.
The most famous question we was getting all week, where's Carson?
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody was looking for Carson.
Yeah. Do the best we can.
On point as always. Is that a Rose Bowl hat?
No, Digital Roses don't die. Shout out to Big Crit.
Even more obscure and cool.
Yeah.
Than what I guessed.
And shout out to Carson for holding it down in the chat of the Porterweight Podcast.
And you know what's funny about the chat?
It felt like you was there.
Yeah. Well, and it's also a lot. There's like just random stuff, but then people just were hitting me with soccer questions.
Oh, that's what's up.
And so it would be all of this like boxing, blah blah blah. Then it was like, yo, Carson Champions League final Saturday. Who thinks gonna get it?
I love it.
Real Madrid did, of course.
I love it.
That was an experience, man. We were going. We didn't sleep a lot.
All right, so here's the thing.
We're city that never sleeps.
We're gonna try to recap the week, and then of course cap that off with Rolly and Tank.
And do you actually want to start with a non-New York event of the week of this past week that we felt needed to acknowledge? Rose, as some would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Statue. Yeah.
Gets a statue put up in his home city.
That's big.
Tuscaloosa. Did I say it right? Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. Tuscaloosa,
Alabama. Salute to Deontay Wilder. I thought about this. I said, you know what? The best way for me to kind of magnify what's gone on for him is just to kind of tell the long story short. This is a man that basically turned pro because he felt like it was what he had to do. He was trying to provide for his family, and he thought that boxing was the way to get it done. Hey, who?
Right.
I made that decision.
Yeah.
But I started boxing when I was 5
kid,
years old. You know what I mean? So for him to do everything that he was able to do in the amateur system, I gotta say, like, there was nobody that could contend with Deontay Wilder. He just was too big and he was too strong. Guys just couldn't contend with him. There was nobody that could stop him from making the Olympic team. Then he goes on and, of course, winning a bronze medal at the Olympic Games. And from there, he becomes everything that you could become in the heavyweight division in boxing in such a short amount of time. For him to have a statue of himself in his home city, I told you, like, oh, he got a statue. I said, you know what? That never was a goal of mine until now. Yeah. And I don't know if that's going to get done, you know? He's one of a kind. He put on some one of a kind performances. I think at this point he is like has the highest knockout percentage of any heavyweight champion probably in history. I believe. So. Yep. I think I've been with Fox long enough to see those statistics. Yeah. For so long that I feel confident saying that
he is. And there were a couple guys down there, so it was a great event. Lefty, MVO, both Chicken Talk guys said it was just Deontay was just with the people, like he was just hanging out. And that's like the ultimate like salute and cosign. Like you got a statue, like that's permanent. He was a legend.
And being, you know, I don't like to go here too much, but being a man from the South, I know how the South's still stuck in their ways, man.
You got to break some barriers.
To get to that level, to be a black man in Alabama and have a statue, that is huge.
A lot of people have said he's the true American dream. He was somebody that picked it up late, did it for the right causes, for his family, and then went from not boxing to being, you know, a great heavyweight of this generation.
I remember the first time I ever seen him on All Access, he was driving a Coca-Cola truck, stocking shelves, and fighting.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Yes. No braids at that time. That was a different Deontay Wilder.
No, he didn't have any braids.
That was the Southern Church boy, Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning, yeah.
The other cool part of this is now people are going to have to put that on their list of things to do.
Get a statue? You
know what I'm saying?
That's tough.
Well, no, not getting a statue, but like okay, so people go to the NFL Hall of Fame. People go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now that's on people's list of things to do in America or things to do in life is to go visit that statue, you know?
Really great for him.
I'm happy for him. It's so well deserved because as he, you know, got to the elite level of boxing and everything you do gets put under a microscope and everyone's nitpicking what you can and can't do. We all lost sight of the fact that he's the best American heavyweight, you know, maybe of the new millennium since 2000. Yeah. And indisputably, he's one of the best punchers in heavyweight history, along with Shavers and Lyle and Foreman and Tyson and so on. And all those guys I named, except Tyson and Foreman, never won a belt like he did. And we talked about this before. We romanticize those great punchers in the past, but all we do is not all we do, but sometimes all people do is denigrate his skills or whatever. So that shows. Leonard Ellerby, you know, who promoted the fight last night in Brooklyn, he talks about this. I'm in the hardcore bubble. I think we all are. And some of us, you know, not Carson or Ann, but sometimes we can lose we could, you know, in that bubble, we lose sight of what's bigger beyond it. Yeah. And so for the city of Alabama to give him a statue, that's just, they're doing that. Those are people outside of the boxing bubble. That shows you he meant more to that city than just boxing. And, you know, so I'm happy for Deontay.
A hero to a lot of people down there.
Right.
The way he came up and did his thing.
Way to draw that up like that, man. I appreciate you for doing
Off
that.
top.
Yeah. Congratulations to Deontay Wilder.
Absolutely.
You know, again, a very special guy.
And the statue also looks good, which is
a
lot of times you see some statues that you're like, ooh.
Let me ask y'all, because that's the first thing I did when I
made sure that it looked like him.
Yeah, I zoomed all the way in to make sure it looked just like.
Look at him. Can you imagine a statue?
Oh, Sean.
Hey, you know what's gonna stand out?
He
gonna be like, gotta get teeth and the tie.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there just like this.
Hey, that'd be crazy.
I actually think I saw an.
I don't think I can have a statue of me like and dressed up though. It's gotta be a boxing thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta be
like
fighting.
Wilder.
Yeah, probably my mouth would be a grill mouthpiece, and
I was like a grill. Shout out to Paul Wall.
Who's the only other guy that really got a statue? Muhammad Ali and Tyson.
No, some statues around.
Oh, it's a
Frazier, Joe Frazier has
and
one.
Ezra Charles.
Ezra
Charles is gonna get one in Cincinnati. I saw.
Tyson has one at Resort World. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
But I mean, look at the list that we're talking
Joe
about.
Louis has Caesar's Palace.
Okay. He about to destroy the list.
No.
He's destroying you.
But yeah.
What were you saying?
No. I said that Ezra Charles is getting one in.
Oh
Cincinnati.
yeah, you did say that. Yep.
But So we all thought we needed to touch on that for sure. Give that the
And he
credit it
said
deserved.
that he intends on continuing, right? Didn't
Yeah.
he say that at the
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, we would love to see Deontay back in the ring.
Yeah, and I would just love to see him back in the ring in general.
In
Like,
general.
Also, I got a victim for him.
Oh.
Charles Martin.
Oh.
there you go.
That's a good fight.
They had not fought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
good
he's
fight.
Charles Martin, if I'm not mistaken, has been on undercards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Of Deontay
that's a
Wilder.
fight that they've thought about in the past.
I'm
know?
good with that. Good with somehow Ruiz. That really
Even Konoski, I just don't, no
Hel-
killers.
Hellenius?
No killers right away.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
we
yeah.
got to see what's left after that incredible third fight with Fury. That's the kind of fight that could take a lot out of you. So, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But now happy to hear that he wants to continue on and then continuing on to the trip to New York.
No sleep since Brooklyn. You know, like,
I see what you
no
did there.
sleep. Yeah.
It was hectic.
So we got in Wednesday, and I wanted to do this. I know the last time when I was in Dallas, I shouted out Swanson Communications, and I said they rolled the red carpet out for
This
me.
time, Swanson TV dinners get the shout out.
They rolled the red carpet out for me down in Dallas. They were very welcoming and very patient and very giving to me. This time around, I think they have a good understanding of how Shawn Porter wants his productions to be done. And I get a text before we leave for New York saying we can't let you into the weigh-in, but you can come to the press conference and you can come to the open gym workout. Weigh-in I couldn't attend because of space. Then I get a text. We get in Wednesday, and we running around because we stayed in an Airbnb.
Shout out to DDA, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
man.
Well, I
Shout-
shouted him out enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We ran around,
Take that back.
couple grocery stores and stuff
Take
like that. We get to our spot, and now it's like, yo, we need to get ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'm headed towards the steps, and I get a text. You can't come to the open gym workout. We don't have room to accommodate. I'm like the balloon popped.
Yeah.
And Sean, he takes a while to tell us because he told us like we're going.
Yeah. So no. As soon as I read the text, I told y'all.
Oh, we got in the car.
But then I'm meditating like, how do we make this work? And DDA was like, well, let's do something. We got to do something.
Yeah.
I said, forget it. Let's just go. Let's show them what we got, what we can do. And I'll cap it right there because Swanson Communications yet again, after telling me we can't let you come into the media workout, showed up. This is what we need. This is what we want to do. Okay, Sean, we got you. And then again, they text the morning of telling me that we couldn't come to the press conference. Mm-hmm. And then we showed up at the press conference. This is all we need. And they made that happen. And then after already knowing that we couldn't come into the weigh-in, I was like, all right, let's shoot this shot again. And they set us up, man. And big salute and thank you to Swanson Communications for just allowing me to, as I've started to migrate from being a fighter into being more of a broadcaster. They're just
Still treating you accordingly.
allowing it all to happen.
And you guys got Paul Williams on, which was enough to make me ditch work and just start talking to Paul Williams for a couple of minutes.
Let's
So
skip.
that was awesome.
Let's skip to the weigh-in.
Yeah.
The weigh-in was eventful to say the least. And we'll start with the Porterweight podcast. That side of it. When I heard that Paul Williams was there, it was like, this is a no-brainer. If my man can get on, we're definitely gonna have him on. And so he came in, and when we interview guys, we don't really prep ourselves on what we're gonna say, how we want this to go.
True
But
professional.
my thing is, I don't want to take your time. I've been on that side of it, so
Yeah.
depending on who it is, I try. If it's 5 minutes, I feel like we're gonna do 5. It's gonna be 10. If you say 10, it's gonna be 15. And so I wanted to cap it at 10 minutes with this guy, but Paul is gonna sit there and give us all we want. You know what I mean?
Jewels.
So definitely gave us some jewels, and one jewel that I ended up coming back around to on fight night, and I'm sure we'll get there. But just to cap it on Paul, it's great to see him. Great to see him doing what he's doing.
Getting into race cars.
And my dude is getting in
Yeah.
a race car driving. But he
Also-
said street racing.
Also noticed my Lara question wasn't asked from the chat, but
We
enough.
ignored that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have
racing.
asked him if I was there, to be fair, but because he got a generous decision against Erislandy Lara.
That was towards the end,
Yeah.
But no, the guy who fought Antonio Margarito in 06 would have beaten a lot of our favorite welterweights throughout boxing history. So
Yeah.
yeah,
People, I don't think people really know that.
yeah.
And if he didn't beat him,
He'd have held his damn
a lot
own.
like me, you would have known
Right.
you were in the fight last night. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I mean, I asked him that, and he felt like he'd clean all you guys up.
yeah.
Hey, I'm not
I ain't mad at him.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at him. At one point in time, like it was a couple guys I was looking like eventually, and I was like, if I have it my way,
I get him.
I don't want to deal with that
Oh,
one.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Here
I'm
you
not
go.
trying to deal with
I'm gonna give you one. Hopefully, you guys answer this correctly. Fantasy matchup 154. Anyone know where I'm going? Paul Williams, Sebastian Fundora.
Why you love this tall thing?
I got Williams.
I got Williams for sure.
Yeah.
That's the
I
correct
like
It's not
answer.
even
Fundora.
close,
though.
Carson.
That's not even close.
No, I like Fundora.
both-
Let's
they're both
not sleep on
giants.
He
Fundora.
just like tall people.
but-
Yeah,
No
He
disrespect,
like tall
but-
and Cubans.
It's not close.
I won't sleep on Fundora. He's a good fighter, but I got the Punisher.
Now, if you say Charlo Williams, and maybe I'll
There
think
you go.
about it.
There you go.
Nah, I'm
Charlo
thinking-
Williams.
That's a good fight.
Nah,
Charlo
I'm thinking-
Williams.
That's a
okay.
good ass
Yeah, I was
fight.
just doing the
Your dream matchup. Your dream matchup.
What? Charlo and Williams?
No, was Williams and Fundora.
That's a good. It's a
Yeah, because
war.
they're both tall. They're both giants at 154.
That's 2 rounds.
We can get our
at
money's
best.
worth in that one.
Yeah,
2 rounds at
absolutely.
best.
No.
Anything
No,
else?
I'm wrong.
Anything else you guys want to highlight from your travels?
Oh, definitely got to shout out Barack. He came on the show. I said, yo, don't do me like Ak did me. And
Barack
you know,
O'Drama.
yeah, Barack is the guy. So shout out to him as well.
And shout out Brock.
Yeah, I guess you got to shout out Ak. Yeah,
He was in the background.
Yeah, he was in the back. I said, I know you was back there. I would have got you on.
Yeah.
He said, no, it's all good. Definitely, we
Ryan
got
Clark, of course.
yeah. Just if we want to go back just a
I
little
was just
bit.
gonna just some notable guests. That
Yeah,
popped up, right?
and, you know, I had all my notes.
Yeah.
I left them at home.
Yeah, hate to
See,
see
you
it.
saw the disappointment when I was getting out the
Yeah.
car.
You did all that on that plane?
Yeah.
It's still here though. By
Yeah,
writing it
yeah,
down.
yeah,
it
yeah.
helps
Clearly,
it,
it's
yeah.
not because he doesn't remember.
Well, I'm following along. Shout out to Ron Clark. He's got the Pivot podcast. And it's on all the podcast platforms, YouTube, just like ours. Great guy, great NFL football player, and now turned analyst. And he does his thing. Whenever I see him on TV, I stop. And then when I caught wind that he had a podcast, the Pivot is it's a great show, and you guys definitely should check out the Pivot. A lot like me, he's expanded. It's not just football.
Yeah.
He's doing any and everybody.
MMA show with Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, and I would love to get like that as well. So,
And anything else though before we move to boxing? You
Jax
guys
was
wanna-
showing love too, right? Steven Jackson.
yeah.
Took a picture with me.
Yep.
Said he definitely want to come on the show. He'll be out here in June.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yep.
All the smoke.
Yep.
He's okay. He wants Shawn on the show.
Yep.
He wanted to let
yep.
me let you know that. He
Gotta
wants you
do
on the
that,
show.
Sean.
I'm very blessed and honored and humbled to be who I am and where I am in life.
Yes.
This is to this point, and we're gonna keep it moving. I mean, me and what I do, I'm gonna keep it moving because I don't want it to stop here, and it's good, but I know it can be much better. Guys like Steven Jackson, looking at me in some of the conversation that we had the other day. I won't broadcast that today. If and when it happens, then you know we'll have something to say about it. But he said, anything you need from me, you let me know. And he don't telling that to just anybody, you know. So, my man, you went. I said, you on a field trip.
Yeah, I mean, I went out to the city and I enjoyed the city. I poured away podcasts around the city.
You held it down.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing it.
Yeah, I know. So I was in a club / MMA spot,
I
and
saw that.
I had a guy come up to me, Carson. So I'm very aware of my surroundings. I wasn't sitting down. So the guy, shout out to Biscuit and Dane.
Lim?
Biscuit, one of the biggest bloggers.
Okay.
Gorilla Memes, Nims. I don't know. I'm older,
Okay.
but I'm in the club.
rocking
I'm
with
hanging
you.
out with these guys.
Yeah,
They
I'm rocking with you.
They show us a lot of love. Fans of
Sounds
the podcast.
legit.
Yeah.
It sounds.
And was popping bottles.
Yeah, I was drinking water.
He said, "Oh,
I was drinking
pop
water the
champagne."
whole night. They were like, "What do you want?" I want water.
Didn't you guys go to Harlem?
I was in Harlem yesterday.
Hold on, slow down.
Yeah, let's go back to.
That's part I was.
Yeah, the
excited
guy.
about.
So guy comes up to you at the
Yeah, so
club?
no, the guy's staring at me about 30 feet away, just keeps walking closer and closer. Then he starts looking around me. I'm like, what's going on? He looking for somebody behind me? Comes up to me, hey, what's up? Where's Shawn at? I'm like, Shawn is not coming in nothing like this, man. Okay, I seen all the Porterway podcast shirts. We was up in there deep with the Porterway podcast shirts. But I'm like, Shawn's not getting out. Shawn's relaxing right now, man, chilling, getting ready for tomorrow. But Yeah, I was exploring the city, got some pizza.
Yeah, Kid Hyphen was moving you around, social media guy.
Yeah.
First off, let's talk about the pizza for a second.
Uh-huh.
Because it looked, of course, like a delicious slice of pizza. I think Detroit-style pizza, like my guy Lefty, underrated, but New York is right there for me. You took the smallest physical bite of that pizza that I've ever seen in my lifetime.
He just put me on the spot at that moment.
And you decided I'm not going to go for it?
The pizza was about 20 inches. I probably knocked it out in 2 minutes. So that was just.
So afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What was it? Were you just like, I don't know if it's actually going to be good?
Yeah,
so-
that too. I didn't want to
That
put a bite of trash.
That can be described.
That's prime fighter situation excuse right there.
Hey, whatever. It is what it is.
That's what I analyzed.
Maybe it
I
was
knew.
making weight.
Yeah.
And then he spit it into a cup afterwards.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Prime excuse right there.
Hey, whatever. We got some Chinese food, some Jamaican. Hey, man, we was out there.
chopped cheese,
I was moving
chopped
around
cheese.
the rain. Everybody think it's a big deal that I said
Frank's Chop Shop.
we was born wet. You was born wet. Okay, it is what it is. Yeah, it's mind blowing. Like
Yeah.
people are really.
Thought I was listening to Pumbaa talk about
I'm gonna
that.
say the best part for the weekend for me was the barbershop. My guy Matt came in.
Yeah.
Matt came in and held it down.
Yeah.
Man. Matt came in, was a
Put him on
fan
the
from
hot seat.
Jersey. Sister brought him in.
Yeah.
Said they listen to the
And
podcast
he
together
gave his
every week.
sister-
And I told Anthus, like, I don't play around. I appreciate the fans for tuning in, for watching, for supporting the whole nine. If you show up, I'm gonna show you love until you leave. And I could tell, like, from talking to him, I said, not only is he a fan of the Porterweight podcast, he's a fan of boxing. And like you said, put him in the hot seat. As I was sitting him down, I was thinking to myself, like, this might be a
He
mistake.
thought he could replace Anna Carson.
Yeah.
I was like, this might be
Or
a
is that
mistake.
Or Zittel, yeah.
Nah.
Because
nobody
he's a
replaced
young guy. What you probably didn't see on the face off was he was shaky. He was shaking a little bit. It's the moment, and he's excited and all this and that. But I sat him down and he just held it together. I was
Absolutely.
like, yo, this was couldn't have been more solid than that. Shout out to Frank's Chop Shop. Also shout out to Jamie. She got my hair
I'm gonna
right.
shout out my man Matt YouTube page. It's
Yeah.
Nabs with 2 Z's, NABZZ, Fight Media. And he's holding it down over there. He actually talking that talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You checked him out.
Yeah.
I hadn't had a
I
chance
got
to.
you.
Yeah.
I like how he the outro of the Porterweight podcast.
Oh yeah. When he
That
was on his way out the door, that was so smooth. That was so smooth.
Yeah, he was good.
Shout out to Jamie.
Yep. Everybody.
What do you do? Sing the theme song?
Nah,
he
He pretty much gave like the hey, tune in every Tuesday. Great content.
Got it.
broke it down. Shout out. He shout out Carson. He was looking for Carson.
Oh yeah, he gave me a wave on the camera.
Yeah, he came in looking for Carson. I forged your signature on his
Did you? I
glove.
appreciate that.
Yep.
So to say the least, beyond the traffic of New York, we had a great time, relatively safe time, and for the sake of words, can't wait to do it again.
Oh
Yeah.
Let's get to the fighting.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
to the fighting.
So on the non-televised, only thing to mention, Jalil Hackett,
I like him.
Mayweather Promotions,
I like-
young star.
He's got some Errol Spence in him. And,
that's
don't get me wrong. Spence is a southpaw, and Hackett isn't as busy with the jab from round one like Spence is. But the similarities are he's a front foot fighter with that great American amateur program experience.
Both from New York.
Both right. Both. And he's a front foot fighter with athleticism. He's not a plotter. He's a front foot fighter with athleticism, and he has like Errol, a really good body attack and good power in both hands. So when you put together front foot guy, athletic, great amateur background, body attack, power in both hands, there's some Errol Spence there, and apparently Jalil looks up to him and has a good relationship with him and Floyd Mayweather. So,
Supposed to.
yeah, no, he's the goods. I like him.
Yeah, he looked good.
He's up next.
Luis Arias.
Let me say real quick because I heard you kept talking about guys front foot fighter.
Right.
If you're a front foot fighter but you stepping with your heel, you don't have the mobility. So most times if you see a front foot fighter, most of us are very
Bouncy.
agile and we have a lot of mobility.
Yeah.
And you talk about a guy who is a southpaw and can work going forward when you are not a plotter and you are a front foot fighter, but you're stepping the right way, you can still move left and right and things of that nature. So just kind of a real quick on Jalil, why that's so important as a early on in his career to be a front foot fighter, a southpaw, and be able to get to guys. We'll recap Ramos a little bit later, and you can see that he's a front foot fighter, but he doesn't step the same, and it makes it a little more difficult for him to get to his fight.
Shushu has that going on too.
Yep.
Front foot fighter with athleticism.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. That's the word I was looking for, athleticism.
Well, because we think of a lot of the American fighters are either boxer punchers or boxers, or and
we got a lot of counter punchers out here too.
Counter punchers.
We got a lot of counter punchers.
Right. I was gonna say counter puncher. So, but then you get yourself, Spence, Charles Conwell, and Jalil. Now, and I'm missing a few other guys, but
shout out to Charles. Okay.
Yeah, these are guys that don't plod
Yeah, I
forward.
wasn't expecting that
Cleveland
name.
Zone,
I wasn't expecting that
Yeah.
name.
Well, he's good.
Yeah.
The Quiet Storm at 154. Check him out.
You guys are out of control.
I have to.
They
right?
I'm talking to these two.
They stopped. They literally stopped.
Yeah, and then like I said, Luis Arias gets a win.
Man, Shawn was trying to make it into the arena, but Shawn Porter is Shawn
He's
Porter.
Shawn Porter, yeah.
So it took a while to get there, but how did that go?
He got the win. It was an action fight.
He dropped him in the tent.
Yeah. And he's still going for the Harrison fight.
Oh, he started talking.
Oh yeah. He
They
wants the
interviewed
Harrison.
him.
No. He just, I think he said on Twitter maybe.
I'm like,
and
what?
then
How did
and
they
Tony
interview
tweeted and was kind
I
of just
think
like,
my dude goes to the
working.
cameras now.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be like, hey, can I get an interview? He's gonna come to you and say, hey, pick your camera up.
Let's do it.
Where's the microphone? Oh, you don't use the mic? All right, well here, I'm gonna
Oh,
talk.
so you guys got your Monday beads on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shout out to James
yeah,
Monday.
James Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
My guy.
Positivity.
What's the whole Tony thing about?
I have no clue.
Why is he chasing
No
Tony
idea.
so bad? Does he want that spot?
Sometimes you just hone in on a guy in your division and you just keep chasing him until you get the fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've never seen somebody.
Because if you're calling everybody out, sometimes
You cast too wide of a net.
yeah.
Mm.
Well said, Carson.
Like that.
That Carson guy is sharp.
Boy, yeah, that's why
Sorry.
they was looking for you in
Hey,
New York.
Reeled
Terrence
it
Crawford.
in, huh? Reeling them in.
Upon moving up to 147, Terrence Crawford was chasing
The big fish,
Danny
some would
Garcia.
say.
No, he was chasing Danny Garcia.
Huh?
Ah.
Big fish.
Chasing
Come on
fish.
now.
Yeah.
And Terrence Crawford, avid fisherman. But
Yeah.
yeah, just get out of here.
Quit.
Yeah.
This boy's on one right now, boy.
But then moving into the
Which is ironic, big
Oh,
big fish, but Terrence, he's a fisherman.
yeah,
But yeah.
he's not a fisherman, he's a fisherman.
Yeah.
But
I got a headache, so
oh man,
yeah.
From all the corny stuff we just
Yeah.
said.
No, I don't know what's going
moving
on.
into the pay-per-view though, which I had to watch by myself because Ant wasn't in town.
Hey, my bad. Hey, me and Shawn was talking about y'all. I was like, it's probably really different without me and Shawn.
Ordered the fight, and I was like, the night got going. I was like, dang, I should have told Carson to go to my house.
Oh yeah,
You watched it by yourself?
yeah. I would have preferred watch it by myself, and then
It
the
was-
shambles over
yeah.
at the Porter household. But
Or was Amy just totally
She was in-
analyzing
no, she
every
was in New
fight?
York.
She was in
She
New
was
York.
about to fight with us.
She was like a couple rows ahead of you, like
Yeah.
above you.
Yeah.
was
She
not.
does boss lady stuff apparently
Of
all the
course.
time.
This
Yeah.
is a boss chick.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Carson married a boss.
absolutely.
Blouse. Like
Op-
a blouse.
opening fight.
House.
Opening fight did nothing for me. Didn't think it was going to do anything for me at the beginning.
Opening fight.
I thought it was gonna be much better than it
It was
was.
all-
I wasn't buying what they were selling me. Melendez and Ramirez.
That's kind of our budget's
Oh.
kind of maxed out on this card right
Yeah.
now. And
Oh, is that what that was? Is that what that was?
I'm being
because it also, I mean, it
I
wasn't.
might have been
Is that
a jerk by
disrespectful,
saying
or-
that.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah. I mean,
I was trying to be funny here.
But I was gonna say, I mean, if you look at it just on a general level, kind of what it is, it wasn't a, young prospect against an aging guy. It wasn't two undefeated guys. It wasn't two guys fighting for a title or an eliminator. It was like just two guys with like a few losses between them that.
As opposed to last week in Arizona, where the opening fight between Fierro and Nunez,
Undefeated.
those are two undefeated guys, clearly going
And young.
yeah,
Like, what was that, 22
18
versus
years
18?
old against 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was kind of an underwhelming start to the pay-per-view. And then, what do we think about Jesus Ramos and Santamaria?
Get him, Shawn.
Jesus Ramos, he's got to pick up his pace. I was talking to Ant here because he was the only one I had to talk to about the fight.
Okay, I'm chopped liver. You could have went to the right and talked to Madonna.
Or my wife, who was sitting right next to Madonna.
Madonna. That's how much.
It's not
Yeah,
Madonna.
it's
This is
Madonna.
Madonna, the
Yeah.
legend.
Like
She
a
was
prayer.
Yeah. Listen, I looked at Ant and I said, there's a difference between throwing multiple punch, like, how did I say it?
Punching in combinations.
There's a difference between punching in combination and then throwing a lot of punches. I said, Jesus is throwing a lot of punches, but they're all singles.
There's no
It's
rhyme,
jab,
no rhyme or
jab.
reason to it.
Jab, jab, jab.
One,
Sweep the left behind the jab.
two,
One.
1, 2, body, 1, 2. I said, yeah, he's busy to the naked eye, but if he throws a double jab right hand, that forces this guy, if he's throwing it the right way,
Yeah.
it forces this guy to take a step back and then show his hand, which way he wants to move. A lot of times we talk about cutting off the ring. The best way you cut off the ring is either with feints or with punches to force a guy to go a certain way. And then if you're intuitive enough and you got good enough foot movement, you can step the way that guy's going and then another combination. Jesus had a hard time catching up with Santamaria until he slowed down. And then when he was slowed down, it's still you gotta keep going. I looked at Anna, said it took me a while to really understand why people really liked my boxing style and why I fought. I said, Ant, if I touched you, I kept going. This guy, Jesus, he touches Santamaria and then he just waits and he watches and then I'll go again.
I'm not sure he wasn't losing early in the fight, to be honest.
Really?
Nah,
I'm not so sure he wasn't losing.
You're watching on TV, we're watching live, so
Yeah.
it's a little different.
I don't think he was losing. I
And
thought
my
he-
natural
was-
instinct to lean towards the boxer.
Yeah.
Carson and those movers, man.
And thank you for saying that, Zittel,
Uh-oh.
because let me mention something that I've mentioned numerous times on this podcast. The thing that pisses me off the most: just because somebody moves does not mean they ran.
No.
It doesn't mean they're.
That's what they were saying?
That's what he said. That's what Ramos said.
Oh.
I
I
only
can
one
hear
of
you.
us came to fight. Nobody is required to make it an easy night for you. I don't understand why that's always a thing. Like, he went in there, he was moving around the ring, he was boxing, he was pot shotting a little bit, but he's not required to go in there and be like, you know what? Let me just stand in front of you.
Stand there and get punched.
Yeah, please, just rock me out of here real quick.
This is my disclaimer. I would say I was a pro. Now I say was, but when I fought, I said I'm a pro, but I'm not an expert. But in my personal opinion, two things need to happen with Jesus Ramos. He needs to create a way of boxing where his work rate increases based on combination punching, setting guys up, and getting into that kind of rhythm. He's long and he's strong. He's a big 154-pound fighter that was trying to squeeze into 147 for a minute there.
He's still growing into his
And he's
strength.
still growing into 154-pound division as well.
What's his age?
21. Just turned 21. So he's a young
yeah,
kid.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a learning experience. I get that. That's what
Hold
that's
up,
gonna,
because
what
that's my
what it's
other
gonna
point.
be, but
That's
like,
my other point.
Yeah.
The other side of that is, I told you last night, what he's doing, and they have to match him better for TV fights. Don't put him in the ring anymore on fight night with movers until he learns how to handle that at the gym. He shouldn't be learning this on the job anymore. This is now 3 fights that I've seen him in the ring with guys who can move and can give him trouble because he has a hard time catching up to these guys.
Yeah.
Stop matching him up with these people until he's got to get in the ring with a championship fighter that can move. Until that time, match him according to what's going to make him look good on TV so that he can get people to want to watch him, want to see him do what we know he can do.
Yeah.
He can hit, and he's got skills.
And his hands are faster than I thought. I actually saw
And
that
he's got
yesterday.
skills, but
Quick,
they're
nice,
not matching
quick
him.
jab moving levels.
They're not matching him
His
with
styles
guys
doesn't attract.
based on, but it's based on what he's been in the ring.
Because if
with.
he's in there with somebody that's gonna bang, he'll
He'll bang.
yeah.
It's
he'll-
gonna-
he'll-
yeah,
yeah, he'll
and I've
thump you
seen
out of
that.
there.
I've seen him cancel guys.
Well,
Yeah.
bang all night.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. So he's got it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Learning at the gym. Don't put him back on TV with that. And people that are orchestrating his career, they already
Yeah,
know
when I heard him say that only one of us came to fight, I was like,
that.
that is just it just fires me up.
And
so much.
Carson, I was holding you down all week. He got payback for his uncle.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Not only did Ant hold me down, they mentioned on the telecast about 15 times.
I know, which is why I opened up
And
on
when
Wednesday.
when I said that,
y'all gonna hear it enough. Y'all not gonna hear it.
and when
here.
I said that, I was more so joking, but also knowing boxing, I know how they're
You
gonna.
already know.
I know how they're gonna spin
You
that.
already know.
And so they spun it exactly as
come
I
on, man,
expected
you
them to.
gotta do better
But,
than that.
And
You
the
gotta do better.
storyline.
I like his composure and his patience, and
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't rush anything. But then at the same time, that kind of goes along the lines of what you're saying is, find that next gear.
Yeah.
A little more sense of
Exactly.
urgency and cutting the ring off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he gets the win, stays undefeated, and then the American Dream.
Erislandy Lara.
Oh, God.
Are you calling him the real American Dream?
Hey, what?
His boxing name is the American
I know.
Dream. But
Hey, y'all want to bet? He was alone, right, Carson?
yeah.
When he knocked him out and he did the hump motion. You think he did it too?
Oh, go ahead. Tell me what you saw
what
in the
was
car.
funny was I didn't.
Oh, God.
Oh, did I?
Oh, God.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
No. What you said to me in the car. Just like one of the first things we get in the car, said, the hump motion out there. I was all about that.
I don't know. I think I'm being misquoted.
Pause.
But
Pause.
but also, so when I was watching it live, and we'll obviously get to the fight, I thought I saw it, and I said, did he do like the DX for a second there? And then they showed a different angle, and he did. But yeah, I thought it was funny. The fight itself, what did I tell you guys? Boxing 101. Boxing lesson.
Why he act like that's his son?
Who
or
was
something?
it against?
Spike
Hey,
O'Sullivan.
my son,
Spike.
Sullivan, and hey,
I heard people in the crowd rooting for Spike.
no
Fools. You
no,
damn fools.
I
It's
heard
the look and
I heard
everything.
somebody next to me that used to be a former fighter rooting for Spike.
Guess what?
Sean was rooting for him out of spite for me.
No.
I don't know.
Guess
he was
what?
doing.
You get Spike to fight, you get a good fight, and you get the knockout. Spike wasn't gonna let go of his defense.
Oh,
He wasn't gonna try
I ain't gonna do a
he
countdown,
wasn't gonna
bro.
try to exchange or anything like that. You root for this dude and try to extend some confidence to this guy so that we can get a fight, so that we can get him out the ring, and so that we can get just
And Lara left hand.
What ulterior motives by Shawn Porter?
yeah.
Also,
Because I heard somebody,
Ulterior,
because I
excuse
heard
me.
somebody behind us yelling too. I said he's yelling way louder than I was yelling. I don't like to yell at fights, but I heard him yelling. And I thought to myself, like, oh, you thinking just like I'm thinking. Let's get this dude some confidence so
Also,
that he could get
shout out
whacked and we can get on to the
Shout out
main
to
event.
Chase Young sitting next to me, defensive end for Washington Redskins. Skins, he's like, man, get them out of here so my boy can get in the ring.
Yeah.
He was over it.
Yeah.
And
Lara-
Carson,
and Lara?
I got something against Lara.
Okay.
American Dream.
Uh-oh.
American Dream. He's not even American.
That's
Part of
the American
Shout out to
dream.
You come to America and establish.
Yeah.
a
Oh, okay,
dream.
one of the guys on the count.
Yeah, that's what the
So-
American dream's all about.
Okay.
In this country.
Okay.
We all come from different
Yeah.
places.
Built by
We gonna give
immigrants.
him a title shot, Carson?
Technically, he's a title holder.
Oh, here we go.
And let me ask you this, Zittel. Does he have, or is he on a pace to become the greatest Cuban professional fighter ever, or one of the?
Yeah, I think getting something big done at 160 would help that.
Yeah.
The pool of professional greats in Cuba isn't what it should be
it's
because
very small.
of being held back in the amateurs back in Cuba. But I think of Joel Casamayor maybe first.
He's yeah.
And Lara, I think not only is close, probably cemented himself as one of the best Cuban fighters in the pros that's come to America.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably one of the best 154s of his era.
Yeah.
And it's a shame he never got to fight Jermell.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, he's carved out a good career. But at 160, even though he pieced up Spike, he looked little in there. It still looked like a junior middleweight against a middleweight.
Mm-hmm.
And I even with him having a speed advantage over Golovkin, and I don't know if I don't know if he could beat a Golovkin I'd like to see that fight, but that fight was actually discussed
I would love it.
a couple years back.
I would love that fight.
That's a good
That's
fight.
a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I even like the Jamal Charlo fight if Charlo's going to stick
I do
around
too.
60.
That's what I
but-
want.
I do too.
That's what
I'm
I
down
want.
for that.
But Charlo, I'd rather him move up to 68 fight Plant and Benavidez and Canelo. But if he's going to stick around 60 on the PBC side, that's probably the best fight to make is Charlo and Lara.
How long can he hang around until he get a title shot? Carson? I mean, he probably
All the time
45
in the
right
world.
now.
You're talking about Lara, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's technically a world champion, right?
Yeah.
On
I
WBA.
mean, no.
And Golovkin has the full belt or whatever. Yeah,
I would
super.
love that fight.
That's a good fight.
I
Golovkin get his
I would
feet
love
out of
for
cement
Canelo-
to catch him.
I love for Canelo, Triple G to be canceled. Something happens, and I love to see Triple G versus Lara.
What about-
That's a fight right there.
We'll never see it because of promotional issues,
Yeah.
but Lara and Janibek would be
Ooh,
Yeah.
a solid fight. But
what?
I
yeah,
still
it-
want him to get his get back with Canelo, beat him again. But the
What about a Castano rematch?
that's a good fight
good
too.
fight,
Actually.
absolutely.
That was a good fight
absolutely.
when they were fighting.
yeah, and Lara, to his credit, and since he's been with Ishmael Salas, has been sitting down on punches more. and has been firing that left hand, which put him down a couple times yesterday. But
making the adjustment, we can't move like he used to for all 12, so he's got to sit down.
Yeah, and he still has.
Yeah, he made the adjustment.
And he still has it. There are times where you still see the classic Lara, and I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. But, now Lara gets the win.
Your boy called the shot, called the punch and everything.
The left hand.
Yeah,
from the beginning of it, man. I saw his previous fight. He had to knock out Areola
Lamana
on the card. And it was explosive. It was an explosive knockout. Looks like you just said, I don't know if it's Silas or if he's just feeling more powerful from moving up to 160. But he looked, contrary to what you just said about his size, I think that he looks comfortable at 160. And then to me, it looks like he's ready to bang or would do whatever he needs to do. He's not a banger, and I don't think he'll ever abort.
Yeah, nobody's gonna be in a firefight with Lara.
Yeah, but I think, he's a guy that would pressure him. I think he'd take more chances than we've seen him take in the past.
Yeah, I would agree.
All that being said, I just when the fight started, you could see what Spike's game plan was to have that shell defense, which would let us all know that smart guy like Lara is going to wait for the opportunity to throw the straight, but he's going to throw it around the gloves and he's going to come over the top as well. And crazy shots that were like shaking up Spike. You know what I mean? So while the fight wasn't completely dry,
he did a little somersault
there were definitely some dull moments, but we were kind of like always reminded, like, this something big could happen. And then eventually it did. And
certainly bold to have him in a co-main position on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Shout out to Benji, referee of that fight. He stopped the fight. I thought it was justified.
Yeah, I would agree. And then main event.
It was unbelievable.
What a crowd last night. You guys were there. Well, how was the crowd? Best crowd that you've seen in the Barclays?
He brought him out, man.
Yeah.
Who brings Madonna out?
Yeah.
He did that without Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Madonna Brooklynite though,
she live in Brooklyn still?
She's from Brooklyn, born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah, that whole crowd. I mean, you have obviously fighter wise, EJ's out there, Danny Garcia's out there.
No disrespect to the Barclays, but I was like, this is like a Floyd Mayweather atmosphere in a smaller room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, no disrespect to the Barclays, but it just seemed like we were packed in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look left, you look right. Chase Young right next to us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody was in the house. Lance Stevenson was in the house.
The cast
Tracy Morgan.
So
cast of the Shy.
When your future opponents are in the room, Shakir Stevenson was there. Teofimo Lopez was there. Ryan Garcia was there. When those guys are
Gary
showing
Russell
up,
wanted some smoke.
Gary Russell couldn't stop talking
he was
all
talking
night.
about what he'd do both of them.
He couldn't stop talking all night.
Leonard after the fight, Leonard's funny. Leonard Ellerby, he's like, Tank's not going to their fights. That's all I'll say about it. But, but
and also speaking of Gary Russell, I love that they gave his dad the acknowledgement that was needed.
Yes,
gave him the salute there. But
rest in peace.
Yeah,
can I share a story before we get to the?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's we're sitting as Sean's wife on the other side of him, Sean in the middle. I'm on the left side. Madonna gets up and tells Madonna and Tory Lanez, I don't know if I should supposed to be dropping this, but Madonna and Tory Lanez and their assistants got 4 seats. They tell Sean's wife, hey, watch our seats. Madonna tells Sean's wife to watch our seats. So she leaves. Madonna goes to get water at the bathroom, come back. During that time, Trippie Redd sits in, y'all might have to Google all this. Trippie Redd sits in Madonna's seats. She comes back like, what the hell? So
hold up. When old dude sat down, my wife was like, "Oh yeah, hold on, you can't sit here. Madonna's sitting here." He said, "What?"
It sounds like a joke.
Madonna is sitting in these 2 seats right here. Madonna and her assistant. What you talking about? Like he wasn't having it. And my wife is like, I'm on my wife. I said, "Look, you already told him your job
did your
done.
part. Yeah.
I said you did more than me. So I appreciate you. Go ahead and stop."
Yeah.
So
and dude was like, "Hold on, Madonna is at this fight. What? Madonna is here?" Say, "Yeah, Madonna came to see Tank Davis fight." You know what I mean?
So this is the young kid Trippie Redd. He's not understanding why she's there.
New Trippie Redd Madonna collab coming soon.
So then Madonna shows back up with Tory Lanez, and Tory Lanez is the first, and I think he was gonna say something with it, but I don't think he wanted an altercation. So he sat back. He told security. Security tried to talk to him. My man Trippie Redd said he ain't moving. This goes on for about 5 minutes, and Madonna told Sean's wife, I told you to save my seats. Didn't I tell you I was coming back?
Who do you think you are?
Madonna.
Hey, Madonna.
So what? Get out of here.
Hey.
I haven't heard Sean's wife
If
sing.
I was there, I'd have had Tiki. I'd have been like, get the.
I thought it was the most funniest thing in the world till finally Madonna, they ended up getting him out it was a
funny.
10-minute.
It was a
situation.
thing. It ended up being a thing.
But yeah, I
Ended up
thought,
being a thing.
yeah.
See why I say she's still just from Brooklyn?
Yeah.
And she thinks she could do all that and this and that. Man, you just another guinea from Brooklyn like me.
But
Yeah.
Well, hey, they figured it out right before the main event got in the ring.
And Tank brought him out though.
And you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
He brought the
I put my
stars
wife a little bit closer to me because it was, yeah. So
But the fight
Yeah.
itself.
Yes.
Talk about it. How did you guys? Let me ask you this, because the scorecards that I was seeing from people on Twitter, from people, I didn't think Rolly shut him out as was described. I will preface with, I thought Rolly did exceptional and much better than I thought he would.
3-2. I had it at the
Okay,
at the moment.
I can see that. I can see 3-2.
You can see 3-2 either way.
Right around there. I wasn't scoring by the round, so I didn't have my number. at
And
the
as
time,
Carson just said, all respect to Rolly Romero. My man showed up. The moment wasn't too big. When he came out, Rolly, you interview Rolly a lot. He has a look like I'm blown away by the moment. His look is I'm blown away by the moment. When he got in the ring, he wasn't blown away by the moment. He was locked in. He knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He was hitting the jab. I felt like maybe a little bit of conditioning affected that issue at the end with the big
think so?
knock. I felt like he
I
slowed
thought it was just a little careless.
He slowed down a tad bit. Maybe got comfortable, Carson, because he was
Yeah.
landing shots like, don't ever get comfortable.
Yeah.
But I was really impressed with the kid. I thought his stock actually rose in the loss.
It did.
Of course. I would agree.
Honestly, I thought his
He has a
stock-
name.
Yes.
He can sell tickets. He has a name.
Yeah.
And he needs to push. I know he wants to be formally known as Rolly. He needs to push that because everybody's Rolly. Push that.
Yeah, I also think a lot of the maybe the perspective of the scoring is, man, I didn't think he'd do good at all. So yeah, of course I'm giving him that round. So I think there was a little bit of that, like he's doing better than you expected, so you think he won the round. On the flip side of that, and someone made a good point on Twitter when I mentioned that, they said they think people would probably give Tank rounds just because he's Tank. I was like, probably pretty good, fair give and take there, but. Yeah, what'd you think?
That's
SJ, as
exactly
far as
what
the
I said
performance?
last week
Yeah.
from a judging perspective. If
Yeah.
you see what you expect to see, you're going to judge it one way. If you're surprised at what you see, you may judge it a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, first off, shout out to the Wynn Hotel and Casino. Shout out to Blue Wire Studios. This is exactly where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And we are having a great time, and we just want to thank them for hosting the Porterweight podcast right here. No, I just made that sound real somber and like real.
And very just out of nowhere, but okay, go
Well,
ahead.
because we got 1.2 on the
okay, there you
watching us, but then beyond that, I forgot to do that when we first
Okay.
started.
Because this is the moment they all been waiting for. What did Sean think of Tank and Rolly? So you
Yeah.
picked the
I'ma
perfect
tell
time.
him.
to
Yeah.
I'm
do
gonna
it.
tell them right here at the Wynn
Shawn
Hotel and
Porter.
Casino,
the peak audience, some
inside
would say.
the inside the Blue Wire Studios. Again, we thank them for having us. I was so surprised and impressed and feeling good about what Rolly was doing that I tweeted about it. Rolly, it seemed like he was only a step away, a few inches on a lot of swings away from doing what he said he was gonna do.
Yeah.
I know it was a lot of people that were concerned for a lot of different reasons, not just because he's got the big punch. I was concerned because of the way he was boxing. Me and answered the same thing. Like, he's boxing real long right now.
Yeah.
He's throwing a long jab to the body, and he's
Stiff-
throwing
and a stiff jab,
long,
too.
stiff
Yeah.
jab.
Some would say greatest jab in boxing.
No, I didn't
Put him
say
on the
that.
list.
Yeah, you don't put him on the list for that. But you got so much more from Rolly. Slow down. Don't show that yet. Slow that. You got so much more from Rolly than we all expected. To me, it ended up making the fight much better than I think it initially we expected it to be. We expected this to be a one-sided fight.
Yeah.
I want to say shout out to Bullet and Rolly's entire team. When you don't know the team, you don't know their capabilities. I don't think any of us had a clue what the game plan was going to be.
Yeah.
So much so that I started throwing some stuff out there. Maybe Rolly should do this. Maybe Rolly should do that. And then guess what? I don't know if Rolly's team is smart enough to think of these things. I'm no disrespect to them. I just don't know them well enough to know what they could do or would want to do. In my personal opinion, excellent game plan.
Yeah, I would agree.
Throw the jab out. Establish the center of the ring. Be the aggressor. Don't allow Tank to get aggressive and get comfortable. I mean, all of the little small things that were needed for Rolly to be successful in a losing effort, because I did not think he was winning at the point that he got knocked out. I thought that he was only a step behind and maybe a punch or two misses from winning rounds.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely close rounds that I was giving to Tank, maybe because I'm expecting Tank to win. I mean, honestly, at this point, I've given up on judging fights.
Yeah.
When I do my commentary, I don't want them to ask me to judge a fight. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So, but overall, I just thought that we were getting so much more, or getting everything that we expected. And I said, this is what I said on Twitter, like, yo, be patient, because both these guys are being patient in the ring. While you want all these scraps to happen, they'll happen. Just be patient. And we were getting them.
Yeah, and Tank mentioned after in the post fight that a lot of his logic was that he felt some of the power early and was like, let me just not sit there and
First
bang
thing he
with
said
them.
after the fight was he could punch.
Yeah,
in the
he was.
post-fight
Yeah,
press
he
conference.
was like, let me just wait him out, find my spots. He didn't want to just sit there and throw with him, which he didn't. Again, as I mentioned with the Ramos fight, Tank didn't just run. Tank was boxing from the outside, so let's call that what it is.
He was moving.
He was moving.
So when you
his output was low.
yeah
Historically was low for his typical fights.
my man was escaping. Okay. Let's make it clear. Let's go between running and between boxing. He was escaping.
Okay.
My dude Rolly gave him some stuff that he had to escape from.
Absolutely.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
I think he touched him a couple times. He's like, okay.
There were moments where he moved because he needed to, and then there were other moments where he moved because Rolly was forcing him to move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought that while I gave most of the rounds to Tank, I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this. So this is what I said on when we were in the barbershop. I said, I'm so convinced that Rolly can't win this fight on the scorecards. I don't think he's going to win a round. I said, for every round Rolly wins, I'll do 25 push-ups. Not really even like thinking like everybody's got their own scorecard.
Yeah.
My scorecard read Rolly winning one round. And I was like, I'm hearing that like people had him winning until the knockout.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm going to go in the middle of us.
That's what I was thinking.
And I'll do 25 push-ups for the average of rounds we felt like he won.
Carson?
What?
How many rounds Rolly won?
For me, like I said, I didn't score it directly, but I would say maybe 2. I was probably around 3-2 Tank, but not convincingly either way. But I didn't think, and I saw that a lot, and obviously, of course, Rolly's going to feel the way Rolly feels, that he won every round. And Teofimo, one of Rolly's good friends, he won every round. Teofimo Sr., he won every round. He didn't win every round.
No.
But a better performance.
It's hard to say 3-2 either way. I'm going to say he won 3, so you have to do 75 push-ups.
Perfect.
Ooh,
Boom. Done
you
deal.
had it 3, huh?
All right, 3.
Damn, so I got to do 75 push-ups?
Easy work. Go ahead.
What about the 25 or the 1 that I said, right? Did that cancel out?
I mean,
one of
if you
those rounds?
want,
No, that don't average down.
Just give us 50, champ.
Yeah, go with 2. Go
I
with
don't
2,
even know.
Carson.
Are you're gonna do that now?
Yeah. I don't have a
No,
choice.
we're not doing that now.
I'm doing it now.
All right, go ahead and do it now.
Yeah, y'all
I don't
can
know
keep
if-
talking.
I don't know.
Yeah,
If,
we got.
Y'all
we'll
need
hold it
me.
down. Yeah, we'll hold it down.
okay.
Can the cameras get him on the floor?
Where should he go?
All right, they said they can get him
Oh,
on the
there you
floor.
go, right there in the front.
This is ridiculous.
Look. Blue Wire Studios, they ready
All right.
for
Yeah.
50 straight, Sean?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
50 straight. Hey, you
he can
guys.
do it.
He is
Sean
gonna get gassed, by the way.
literally about to do push-ups right now.
Oh, 100%. I don't know when the last time you did push-ups was, but I think it was before November
This is
20th.
wow.
I'm not counting them, but
Those are fast.
So, anyways,
yeah. So
I felt like Rolly.
yeah. So as I tell, what did you think of Rolly's performance? You're probably one of the people that has done the most interviews with him, where he was saying knocking him out in 1 round. I don't know why you guys think he's this good. What did you think of Rolly's performance overall?
Almost wanted to wait till Sean's done.
No,
I'll
we
start
need to
now.
talk.
Yeah,
we don't
I
want
got
the
you.
awkward
I got
silence
you,
just
I got
watching
you.
this husky guy do
No,
push-ups.
I like you said, I've been around Rolly a lot these
Yeah.
last couple years. Super fun fighter to cover and watch. I thought he did a good job with that rangefinder, just being busy with the rangefinder.
Your arms are gonna be so sore tomorrow.
He did a good job just being busy with that rangefinder to always know where Tank was and to have his distance right. And yeah, I thought he was doing well, but in the 5th round, Tank, sorry, I'm losing some of the track of my thought.
You're good.
But Tank in the 5th round, his defense sharpened up. And kind of like Castaño against Charlo in the second half of their
You
fight,
just saw it starting to go a direction.
it made the aggressive guy get a little anxious
Yeah.
and desperate once the other guy was starting to make him miss more often. And I saw that from Rolly, got anxious jumping in with that shot. So and Tank, to his credit, made the adjustment and figured it. But I saw it there in that 5th round that Tank had really gained his composure and was really comfortable in there, kind of like he was before the fight, laughing at everything Rolly was doing instead of meeting it head on. And he walks him into that shot, and it was a great job by Tank. And
Tank was laughing, having a good time, laughing with his mom dancing.
I actually felt a little bit different about that punch that landed and knocked Rolly out.
Let me ask you one thing first, because you guys were there. So Tank mentioned afterwards that somebody told him to press the action. Can you guys ID who it was? Because he said he wasn't going to name him. Was it Shawn?
Wait, about
No, it wasn't me.
Tank said after the fight that he was saying somebody in the crowd. He said, I'm not going to say who, but they kept yelling to press.
I'm not sure if it was Earl.
I don't know who that was.
At one time, he looked in Earl, Danny Garcia, and
might have
Ryan
been
Garcia.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Sarah-
and Ryan Garcia
Ryan was rooting for him.
He lost a little bit of cash on the bet he bet with EJ that Rolly was going to win.
And with Rolly, so I never said this before because everyone would look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, be crazy.
But remember, natural talent is the things you're born with.
Yeah.
And there's guys walking the streets that'll never get in a boxing gym that have great natural talent for it.
Right.
And Rolly, watching him on the mitts over the years, is one of the most naturally talented fighters I ever got to cover in terms of being born with speed and power. And that's what and he has good timing. He has like a natural sense of timing, and he timed Tank a few times. He was staying on top of him with the rangefinder and waiting for Tank to throw so he could throw when he threw. And he's always had sneaky good timing with that, but he's basically getting by on natural talent.
Yeah.
He had 35 amateur fights, 14 professional fights, and yeah, he got by on natural talent. All you have to do is ever watch him hit the mitts and know this guy was kind of born with something special.
Yeah.
I just don't know if, he'll ever, he started at 17 years old.
Right.
He's almost like Wilder was,
Yeah.
just
not a lifer in boxing.
yeah. So,
And-
and for Tank, I think he is one of the top 10 pound for pound fighters in the world. He's excellent. And
We got
yeah.
Let me
Super
say
chat, I'm
this.
guessing?
Super chat from Tip Bayless. Rolly should have fainted more having Tank on the ropes. I do agree with that. And I was really surprised to see Rolly fainting
a few times.
right out the blocks the way that he was. He opened up the fight fainting.
some of Tank's feints had Rolly like.
And Tank was
Jumping
fainting
way
too.
back.
I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I just thought overall, like I'm seeing these small little things and all that. I just thought collectively it was a great fight. Want to go back to the knockout because
let's
even
do
right
that.
there, what Ted Bayless is saying right there, feints to come in may have kept you safe and may have set you up for success. I thought that Rolly was taking chances throughout the fights, throughout the fight, and I thought that most of the chances Rolly took, it was multiple punches. It wasn't just one punch. He was coming in exploding. He's an explosive fighter, and he was coming in exploding with ones and twos and hooks and the whole nine. That specific moment, we can show it now. That specific moment, he actually decided to lunge in with just one shot.
A wide shot too.
And it worked right into the rhythm of Tank Davis. Tank Davis is a counterpuncher by nature. It's a small pullback counter, and that's what it was that closed the door for Rolly. Had Rolly come in with the multiple combinations or the multiple punches that he had been doing previously, that moment I don't think would have ended being the moment that it ended up being. He was taking moments throughout the fight, and I thought that he was having some success. And it was setting things up, but right there he decided to take a moment with one shot, and it worked right into the rhythm.
I was gonna say against a guy like Tank Davis,
It
one
worked
shot's all it takes
right
sometimes.
into the rhythm.
Big puncher.
And it was a pull counter with the left. And this is what we said at the barbershop. They said, well, whoever can capitalize on the mistakes, that's who's gonna win this fight. I said, no, I agree with you 100%. I said, but Rolly is not a guy who is fundamentally sound enough, and I don't think has enough experience from an eye standpoint
To see when a mistake is
to
happening.
see it and capitalize on it.
Yeah.
I said, but guess what? Tank does, and Tank is. Tank did.
That
You know
was
what I
it.
mean? So yeah, I mean, we
Great
can't say.
shot.
I don't think we said enough about that shot too.
Yeah.
And he didn't say it was a big. He said it wasn't even a big.
Yeah, he said he
punch.
didn't really throw it that hard.
But with the counter,
We walked
And
him
his-
coming forward,
yeah, I was gonna say
the
his-
way his body was tense.
Very much. The comparison was Pacquiao Marquez.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must
Using,
feel good, you know,
uses momentum against them.
to vanquish your antagonist. That
Yeah.
has to feel good.
And with not that big of a shot, must be a nice luxury to have.
And a
Right.
great decision by the referee to stop the fight.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, his legs was
100%.
gone.
I don't know if people had an argument about that. I didn't hear boos when the fight was over.
Few people felt like he should let him go.
But people,
hell no.
boxing is evolving.
Hell
I've been
no.
saying that for a little while
Yeah.
now, and it's just not what it used to be. Back in the day, 10 years ago, that fight keeps going. You know, 10 plus
Yeah.
years
I
ago,
think-
that fight keeps going.
I
Maybe-
think people only would have wanted that to see Tank really
and,
lay,
and
lay
that's
it-
what
lay
I
it on
told.
him.
That's what I told
Yeah.
Chase. I was like, "Yo, only reason we let that go is for a highlight reel." I said the highlight reel is not worth this dude's health.
Oh, of
You know what I
course
mean?
not.
And so, you guys just got to get used to the way boxing is going to go. The counts are going to go a little longer now,
Yeah.
and for that referee to do his determination, he's going to take the fighters through a little bit of a
Yeah, legs
of a,
weren't, legs weren't there.
procedure
Yeah.
and a protocol
Good stoppage.
before we see
And,
it.
and I know a lot of you guys don't care about Rolly or boxers if you're not personally knowing them, but you gotta think about the kid's health.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point in that dude just taking a beating
Yeah.
for no reason. If the
And
ref can save
young
him,
gue.
save him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got
yeah,
long
Carson.
career. He's
A
got
lot
a
of
long
fights
career
ahead.
ahead. of him.
Yeah, I would love to see him and Pitbull Cruz at some point.
Yeah.
Great fight.
Yeah.
Be a war.
Great fight.
So yeah, and I do think Rolly definitely. We mentioned earlier, his stock went up. I think it did 100%.
Yes.
But yeah, I would like Pitbull Cruz a good fight. I think Rolly gives a lot of these 135 guys trouble because he's a bigger guy. He's a strong dude.
Yeah.
And again, I maybe thought one thing going into it, and he certainly exceeded my expectations. What do you think? We do have 2 fights coming up this weekend, which we'll touch on. But for Tank, what do you think is next for Tank? Because one of the biggest stars in boxing.
It's got to be one of the biggest names in boxing.
It's time to go.
Who do you think?
It's got to be.
It's time to go.
They want the Garcia fight.
I heard Garcia was prepared to get in the ring last night.
That's the fight Ellerby has tried to make in the past. PBC has tried to make in the past. They want the Ryan Garcia fight. De La Hoya, trying to be smart on his part. This is one of the 3 jewels he still has.
Yeah.
Virgil, Jaime, and him. And he's my guy's not as experienced as Tank. And I don't know if Oscar's keen on making that fight, but maybe Ryan can force his guys.
Ryan said, I believe maybe even FightHype.com had the clip. He said, "F Golden Boy." He was like, "I'll make the fight. I'll make it happen. Like F them. Like let me do it." That fight
I've been
is massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Business wise, fan
I
wise.
feel like Ryan's still a fight away from being ready for that.
I'm not sure I disagree with that. I think just from a business perspective and from an interest perspective, it's huge.
Yeah.
Because those are 2 of the most popular boxers. And look at the people that Ryan Garcia has this fan base from social media and all of that. I mean, Tank Davis, I saw Braun tweet about it. I saw all the KD, all of these,
He's number 1
Charles
trending
Woodson,
right now.
everyone. So you have 2 of the biggest names in boxing and popularity wise, and both sell very well. So
Exciting
it'd be huge.
styles with power.
Another name that's been floated about, Lomachenko. If somehow they can make that happen,
I
would
think
be a
that's
fun
the
fight.
classic fight.
Yeah, it'd be a
I
good
think
fight.
that is the classic number 1 against number 1 in the 135-pound division. All respect to Devin Haney.
Let me cut you off before I forget. We all agree stay at 130. Yes?
At 135?
135, yeah. for
Yeah.
Tank. 'Cause you mentioned the 135
yeah.
division. I was like, I think we need to for sure lock that in because people
well,
are
I
like,
think he
does
needs
he
to-
go up to 40?
I-
I don't think so. I think the money's at 35.
I think that he seems like he's maturing. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I don't want to misjudge him or anything like that. But based on my small experiences with him, he seems to have really matured.
And Abner said that yesterday too. Abner was like years ago, because you guys didn't see the broadcast.
Yeah.
Abner was like, I was calling for him a few years ago, and they were going to fight before the eye injury.
Yeah.
He was like, I saw an immature fighter and somebody that I could probably, expose that. He was like, since then, he's grown so much in the ring and outside of the ring.
Yeah.
But,
So
but
that being said,
Yeah.
I think I've been saying he's the best 135 pounder for a very long time. You know what I mean? The separation between him and everybody else in the division and them, the separation between all of them is so minimal.
Yeah.
I mean, it amounts to moments, just like last night. Who can capitalize on moments consistently to win a decision or a knockout? The list goes on. As you always say, Tank is always going to have the X factor in that left hand.
Yeah.
But he's also got a lot of power in the right hand as well, and he's strong. He's a tank.
Fast.
This goes on. I think that the Lomachenko Tank fight is the best fight that can be made at 135.
Yeah.
From a perspective of experience, a perspective of two phenomenal professional boxers. I mean, southpaws. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on. I think that's the best stylistically.
It would be a chess match and of two top guys.
Yeah.
Danny with the super chat said Tank versus Tio next, which is also a fun fight. And you saw
all fun fights.
And you saw Rolly is a big guy. Tio also a big guy for 35. So
And the crowd also started yelling FTO. So after the fight.
Fair enough. Hurtful, but fair. There's so many good matchups. I'll be interested to see what they can do because, again, business of boxing, there's not very many in-house at 35. Some people are saying, like, Michelle Rivera. Okay, good fighter, but I'm not sure.
Frank Martin, but Frank Martin's not ready.
No.
Michelle Rivera's not ready.
No.
I think we're 5 years away.
They're not big fights either.
Yeah.
I think we're 5 years away from the next Spence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis.
Yeah. I also don't.
That is a
He
big
was there,
fight.
yeah, and he's the one saying I'll beat him.
I also
Stevenson
don't.
is.
And I'm picking him.
I don't really care to see a rematch either.
No.
I'm not
No,
sure if you
no,
guys
no.
feel
I
the same
get
way.
it. I get it.
Of
course.
That's
You're-
what we're
Barring-
doing.
gonna want
barring Rolly going on a run.
Yeah.
And
I'm saying like an immediate, an immediate rematch.
No.
I don't have any interest in that.
Hey, Rolly could go on a run.
He could.
Rolly could go on a run. He showed me something. He can go on a run.
Yeah.
I'm a Rolly fan.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go from there. But definitely,
I like for Tank.
Go ahead.
You know, if Haney can beat Kambosos, and I think he'll pull it off. I love that fight.
Yeah.
Hank and Haney.
Yeah, you
Hank
combine
and
them.
Haney.
I like the
They-
Hank Boom. Let's go right there then. Haney,
I mean, they have history.
Yeah, Haney and Kambosos coming up this weekend in Australia.
Real quick, I just gotta defend myself. T. Bosley said he thought I only did 40 push-ups. I think he did them push-ups too fast. I've always done my push-ups very fast, but I've always gone to the number. 50 is what was said. 50 is what was done.
I respect the criticism though.
The arms were shaking a little bit.
What do we think?
I will be honest.
What do we think about the fight this weekend? And Devin obviously going over there, the one-man army ace on without Bill with him of Yoel Judah.
Which, you know, I'm not gonna, that's not a good thing that he has to go over there without his father and trainer, and Ben Davison as well. But the one thing that has been a gift for Devin since I saw him as a kid working with Shawn is he's a teenager. And Shawn, I'm interested to see how much you agree or don't. He has a natural, I'm saying from a young age, a natural instinct and IQ for the sport. He's naturally very intelligent fighter. It's come to him since he was young. And he's very good at this hit and don't get hit thing instinctually. And like Mayweather was. And I think one of his gifts is his improvisation. And sometimes when you're sticking to a game plan, maybe that can stifle some of his improvisation. As the fight goes on, it's good for him to start with the fundamentals, start behind his jab. I think that's what he's going to have to do with Kambosos early on, out jab him, beat him fundamentals against fundamentals, you know, because that's where the fight will probably start. Beat him there, but where Devin becomes special and where I think he's not as perfect with his fundamentals as Shakur Stevenson, but where I think he has more of a ceiling than maybe even a Shakur Stevenson is his improvisation. By rounds 5, 6, 7, once he's in his rhythm, he does the sidestep, boom, uppercut, lead uppercut out of nowhere. He boom, check hook, double jab, right hand to the body. He can come up with such creative offense on the fly, counter punching, offense to defense. I think that's one of his gifts, and I think he could turn a negative into a positive by not having Bill and Ben Davison there, because it's going to
let him freelance a little bit.
It's going to force him to just open it
He needs
up
to
and
keep his
figure it
left
out on
hand
the
up.
fly.
That's the one thing I'm concerned about with Devin. He sometimes keeps his left
Well,
hand
Tim Bradley
low.
said he's worried about him getting hit by Kambosos' right hands because of that.
Yeah,
because
sometimes just gets a little lax. But
And, you know, I actually don't think the dad and Ben Davis being there is a big deal. Boxing is one of the loneliest sports. You've been with your dad for years. You've been with Davis for a while. You know what you got to do. Once you get in the ring, it's you and the next man.
Yeah.
You know your game. You know what you got to do. Get up in there and do your thing.
And Bill said, "I've raised him for this."
Yeah,
he said, "This is what
he's built for this."
Yeah, this is what I raised him to do.
So yeah, I believe, you know, you guys heard me say I got him. Kambosos knocking him out. I mean, be honest, I think he goes over and put on a clinic, but it's going to have to be a Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez clinic because I'm just worried about the judges. That's what I'm worried about. Don't try to go get the knockout because that's when you can get yourself caught up in something.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to put on a clinic because I'm worried about Australia.
Which I expect him to do.
That is my worry, that Australia will.
I think
But, yeah, if he put on a clinic where it's like no way you can
carve him up.
Yeah. I just don't think this guy, boxing-wise, Kambosos can't mess with.
It's no diss to Camp. I just think Devin's going to rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see something superior to the guy who fought JoJo and Linares. I think he's going to
This is what we've been waiting on.
This is what we've been waiting on. What he's been waiting on. And, yeah.
What do you think?
Just to answer to the coaching situation, go there first. And when I saw that it was going down the way it was going to have to go down, I told you, I said, yo, tweet that, man. Tell this kid get there and bring those belts back. Because I know that he's got it in him to do it. It is a very lonely sport. There's no secret. We're in there by ourselves. We've got moments, and if we're really connected to our coaches, of course, Bill and Devin are connected. If we have a real connection with our coaches, we're using our coaches while we're in the fight. You know, I would knock a guy down, and my dad's orders was always go to the neutral corner. You look at me, I'm going to tell you what to do. There's never been a moment where I went to the neutral corner, just even if the other guy was getting his hand taped, and I didn't look to my dad to see what are you thinking, what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? So there's this small little things that a coach almost is a necessity to. Another necessity that a coach provides, to his fighter is the emotional connection, being able to keep his fighter in tune. Let's say hypothetically a couple rounds go by and they don't go the way that they anticipated or what they expected. You know, Bill when he comes back, he say, "All right, be cool, we good, we in here." Those little confident
reassurances,
and reassurances that your coach can provide to you. He doesn't have that now. I've been in that position where I've had to coach myself, and I use my dad's voice. They're my thoughts, they're my inner thoughts, but I'm thinking what my dad would say to me. You know what I mean? So while I do believe that Devin is going to go over there and handle it, I'm very confident that he'll do that. I also understand that there are some things that are going to be missing. I don't think they're going to be relevant, or at least I hope that they're not.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm biased in this standpoint. And let me also say that I really like Kambosos. I think that Kambosos is an explosive fighter. I think he showed that against Tio Lopez. I don't think that was a one-night thing for him. I think that what he showed against Lopez, he's got that in. Against Lopez, he's got that in him. But I do think that the way Devin Haney fights and the way he will be from an emotional standpoint connected to this fight mentally, emotionally, the whole nine, I think he'll stay locked in, and it'll be a boxing match. It'll be somewhat of a clinic, and I don't think he'll have a problem winning the decision.
And Styles. One thing to worry about with Kambosos, like yourself, was he has good feet.
Yeah,
he has that in and out motion, and that could be with his hand speed to go with it. That could cause a lot of problems. Yeah. But I think
it's gonna be levels.
I think Carson, you mentioned that Haney with the left hand low. Kambosos fights like that. The lead hand is at his hip sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
And Haney's very long, and he can catch you pulling out, with that left hand low. And Styles make fights. Lopez is strong and as big a puncher he is he likes to counter punch.
Kambosos?
Lopez. Tio did.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a counter puncher. And Devin is a counter puncher too, but with that jab.
He's got length, and he doesn't mind being first to set up his counter punching.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It's better from you than coming from me.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But I just think, with that left hand low and Devin's long, and Devin has a good right hand that could shoot over the top of that with him pulling out and everything Shawn just said. So I know Kambosos, if he proves us wrong again, just all credit to him. He's a good man, not just a good fighter. He's a good man. And here we are picking the American against him again.
I told you, I studied him, so I knew he was a fun fighter to watch. It took him coming over here and doing what he did for us to realize, this dude's he's a fun boxer to watch.
I think, to be fair, and this is just me, I think we saw the worst of Teofimo and the best of Kambosos that night.
Boom, boom.
That's what I think. So I think Devin's going to go over there and show, you're good. You're a really good fighter. You're a champ now, but I'm a special talent.
And so as you was talking, Shawn, I thought about it. If it comes a moment where Haney gets rocked, he doesn't have that that calmness in the corner.
Yeah.
That stuff like that could change the night up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Besides
Like,
that,
really good fight,
even he doesn't get rocked, but just shaky rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could always come back to the corner, and I knew if I won a round because the way my dad's energy, his demeanor,
it's not over the top.
Before I even sat down, I knew if it was a good round, if it was a bad round. There's a lot of rounds in my life where I was questioning, and then I was sitting down. My dad's like, "Yeah, we got to do this, we got to do that." And then I let it go. Like, all right, I lost that one, gotta let it go. And then other rounds where I'm like, I don't know. My dad's like, "We good, hang in there, keep doing what you gotta do." Da. So the reassurance, the connection, that's always going to be missing, or when that's missing. My advice to Devin would be to start now. Start doing exercises of what you have trained and what you've heard your dad say. Do the exercises mentally and meditate on what you expect to hear. And if you can duplicate what you do, how I always say, I try to do what I did in fights. I would play the fight, or I would do what I did in training, and I would play the fight in my head so much that I would try to duplicate exactly what I saw in my head. Yeah. And if he can duplicate what he's done in training and all that, those are roads to success.
Yoel Judah has been around him forever. There's a picture of him working his corner. His godfather Zab Judah. Yeah. So they've been around. Yeah.
Yoel will tell him whether he's up 8 rounds
he
or
will certainly
he
keep,
will
keep
say,
it honest.
"Oh, Zab, you gotta." He will tell him that at some point.
And then prediction: Haney.
I have Haney by decision. Yeah.
Ant.
Haney by decision.
Haney by decision.
Give me Haney by knockout. Let me get a little spicy. Give me Haney by stoppage.
Well, you on this Canelo Bivol roll, like you may
I'm
might just
channeling
happen.
Something. Yeah. I think at some point, I think he's gonna be piecing them up so bad that maybe the ref steps in.
And bottom line for me, styles make fights, and I think that Devin Haney is a little better from the outside, and is going to be able to set things up and win the fight. Taking all my bias out, just looking at this fight as a whole. Kambosos, I like the fight we just saw. Aesthetically, it's going to be way different. Yeah. But I got a feeling Kambosos will be just slightly behind.
Step off.
He's smaller than Devin, too. Devin's going to be a welterweight one day. Yeah. A legit welterweight at 5'9.5". When he fills out.
That's his goal, I'm sure.
Yeah,
that's
it is.
Goal.
He's always said that. He probably will maybe even get to 54 at some point.
And then.
You know what? I give you guys credit. You guys are not worried about the judges as I am.
There's gonna be from what I read, there's gonna be no American judges or Australian judges, so that helps.
Crowd reactions hurt.
Crowd reaction of
they react. They're gonna react to everything.
Very big shot.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Horn.
Yeah.
But he would become the first undisputed lightweight.
Everyone always says Joe Horn. Shout out to Joe Horn, underrated receiver in his day.
Remember he took the cell phone out of the goalpost.
We have one more fight, and we'll wrap up on this.
First, he'd be the first undisputed lightweight champ since Pernell.
There you go.
Sweet.
Devin Haney,
USA.
And then last fight this weekend, another great matchup. I would say probably the best guy in the 122 against the third best, Danny Roman. Cool boy Steph, the best in the division.
Cool boy, back at it again.
Same time?
I think the one in Australia will be slightly after. Okay. And then the co-main on the Fulton card is David Morrell getting back in there against Calvin Henderson, I think is his name. Mm-hmm. And Cool Boy Steph, this is another chance to cement yourself.
Is that Showtime?
That is Showtime. Yeah.
Where's that at?
Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're going to do it live in Minnesota this week? Oh. People
no disrespecting though. No disrespecting.
People asking us to go some crazy
That's going to be a good one. I think for Cool Boy Steph. And a lot of people thought when I mentioned number 1 versus number 3, MJ has to be number 2, in my opinion. Akhmadaliev who beat Danny Roman. But that decision, people thought was a close fight. I thought MJ won, but very close. But now Fulton, you get a chance. You beat Figueroa, pick up his belt, and now you can face one of the other top guys in the division. Any overall thoughts down there? On the fight?
He's knocking on the door pound for pound. He's already on some people's.
I think he is on mine.
List. Yeah,
really?
Which like
Fulton?
Mm-hmm. Top 10, not top 5.
Yeah.
I think when we talk about top pound for pound, everybody thinks top 5.
Yeah, I think he's top 10. Especially this one will lock it in.
I barely got Tank in the top 10.
Go ahead.
I think Roman.
What?
Yeah, he about like 7.
Tank is 100%.
Really?
Top 10.
Yeah, he about 7.
So last night when you were talking about you got to put him in the pound for pound, you was thinking top 10.
Top 10, not top 5.
You got top 5?
Top 5.
So
I need to beat the
go ahead, Zach.
I got Tank and Jermaine.
One more time. Cut you off one more time.
It's your show.
My top 10 is, or my pound for pound is also based around. It's not based around just
resume and
yeah.
Who got all the belts.
Who would beat who? Forget resume.
My thing is how do you perform? What's your style like? Who comes to watch you?
Walkout song.
Walk outside. Give a damn about a walk outside. I mean, you're not going up to Tick because you came out to.
I'm bad.
You know what I mean?
They still on that.
Hey, mute him for me.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Go ahead.
Unreal. Go ahead, Zittel. Don't let him cut you off. Don't
He
let him cut you
also
off.
he also came out to the man right cheer. We all made such a big. I know Rhapsody. Shout out to Rhapsody. Beautiful performance, walking
course.
Shawn out. The man right cheer is a better song than Bad.
Hey,
Not bad.
hey,
So,
hey!
you know,
I was thinking it the
and I'm
whole
from New
time.
York.
Hey,
Y'all trying to give me a reason to come back?
No.
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 Batman, right?
So,
Hey, that was. I had drinks in my hand. Yeah, let's go.
so Fulton
Come on,
Roman.
go.
Oh,
ahead.
he's about to win this.
Yeah. So Fulton Roman. Go ahead.
So Roman is a more technically sound fighter than Figueroa.
Yeah.
But I just have a feeling Figueroa was such a giant in there and so relentless that I think Fulton will be kind of relieved to be up against a guy not like Figueroa,
gave him hell.
closer to his own size.
Yeah.
And I think Roman, like I said, more technically sound than Figueroa, but I think he's going to handle him better than he did Figueroa. Also because he's probably a better fighter from that fight. So I expect Fulton to not struggle too mightily. I'm not saying Roman won't be in the fight, but I think Fulton will show he really is knocking on that door of being an elite guy. Well, he already is the elite guy of his division, but I'm talking pound for pound.
No clue why you slid.
Real quick before we get out of here,
Oh, okay.
I want
it's-
everybody
you know,
pick a
we
fan
also-
question because I know they've been talking the
Well,
whole time.
let's also keep talking about this fight in the moment.
I thought we were almost
No.
Inoue is the 7th, right, with Donaire?
Yes.
So
that'll be
we
the-
cover that next show.
Yeah, so that'll be the next one. But I think Fulton, almost to the T. I think it's not going to be that relentless Figueroa body punching, walking him down where Fulton has to be slick and fight off his back foot.
He was fighting like a Fundora at 22.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do think Fulton excels on the back foot, but I do think in this one he's going to have the ability to dictate the action a little bit more. And again, Danny Roman, for anyone that doesn't know, is one of the best at 122.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Yes.
Do you have any prediction, any thoughts there? Showtime, Sean P.
No, I
Perfect.
think I'm a big Cool Boy fan.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. It's hard for me not to see him eventually having his way. He's a special fighter. I think he's one of the special guys out there fighting that we don't really speak to in terms of being special, but he's definitely got some unique talent and abilities that make I would classify Cool Boy as
And if he wins this fight, please, I beg of you, boxing, somehow get him in there with MJ. Get him in there with Ahmed Aliyev so one of them can become undisputed. It would be Cool Boy Steph, in my opinion. But please,
That'd be beautiful.
let that happen. And he fights on the 25th. He fights Ronnie Rios, MJ. So get through that. Both of them get wins.
Ronnie Rios.
Please figure it out.
I remember him from the Cotto Canelo undercard.
Yeah, that card on the 25th, we'll get
That was
there.
so long
We'll
ago.
talk about when it's closer to
That's what I'm
time. But
saying.
You're a
that card
genius.
on the 25th is one of the best of the year. But
Hey, yo, I had my man on the phone with me the other day. Shout out to Neil Leifer. I was hanging out with a legend. Look up Neil Leifer if you don't know who that is.
Took the famous Ali standing over Liston photo that we've
Yeah.
all seen.
I like to tell people when I talk about him, I say, you know him, you just don't know him. You know his work. I was hanging out with Neil Leifer over the weekend. He's got all these amazing photos in his home. And I said, I have to take a picture of this. I said, I'm going to send it to one of my guys. I don't do this often. I said, but I know he's going to know who this is. I had no clue what I was looking at and how special it was. I sent it to this dude, and he's right back with exactly who it is. Of course, Neil knows. I mean, he was there in the moment, but I don't know how he knows these things, right? So I'm like, see, told you he was going to know who it was. Hanging out a little bit later, and now I got Shawn Zittel on FaceTime, and he's just start doing his Shawn Zittel thing.
Yeah.
And I just sat back, I'm like, this dude's a genius, man. This is amazing, man.
Yeah, no, you're impressive. You know your shit.
I love you guys.
yeah, you're ugly though.
But-
You got ketchup on your shirt.
Yeah,
Come on, man. They can't even see it. They can't even see that. It's
no,
right
but
there.
Neil,
I just wanted to balance it out because you guys are hyping
Hey.
him up. I just want to make sure.
no, Neil showed us the OG
Sure.
version he did of the Great White Hype.
No.
Like, okay.
Nope. But pick a picture or
Pick a question.
pick a question.
Question.
Oh,
Yeah, because they've been
From
talking.
Where though?
Oh, I'm not
But
sure.
wherever they've been
I
talking.
mean, I got one that
Yeah.
caught my eye.
Go ahead.
People say, what about a Rolly versus Gary Russell.
Ooh.
Oh, that changed everything.
Because Gary is fighting at 126, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just
Roll
think
ain't
that
going to 130.
I think the size.
Yeah, Roll ain't going to 130.
I love everybody. I love Gary Russell. He I know he knows that. But I'm looking at the size while he's talking last night. I'm just like,
Because he wanted both of them.
like, where are you meeting? You know what I mean? Or are you going to 135? And let's keep it real. For some guys, you just go to their weight class and you do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But while he was talking last night, I kept thinking like, all right, I get it, but where y'all gonna meet at? Because I don't think Rolly can get any lower than 134, and I don't think Tank can get any lower than 134. We'll never see Tank at 130 again.
So Gary will have to go up.
Gary's got to go up.
But
And we'd love to see him in the fight.
But let's be honest, is that the fight that gets Gary Russell to go to 35? Is Gary Russell going to
Tank's
all
the
of a sudden
fight
go
that-
to
if he ever goes
35
to
and
35,
fight
it's
Rolly
for Tank.
Romero?
I could see. That's what I was gonna
Come
say. I
on
could see
now.
him going to 135 for Tank.
I'm
Not
surprised
for
that
Rolly.
fight.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying
I'm just
now.
saying,
I see
I
what you're
don't
saying
mind
now.
Gary
I see
moving
what you're
up, but
saying.
really, is Gary going to be like,
Rolling.
let
Right,
me
right,
go
right.
up to 135 to fight
Right.
Rolando Romero?
I've been
what the
fighting
people
for 10
Yeah,
years.
that's what
and
the
all
people
those
been
amateur
clamoring
fights
for.
to
But
get him. Yeah.
I don't know if there's any questions that really caught my ear.
Well, someone asked any
yeah.
inside news on Bud versus Spence negotiations. I'm hearing a lot of good things.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good things.
in these boxing streets.
Espinoza kind of confirmed that. EJ kind of
Thought you had
confirmed
a
that.
question from
No,
November. I'm hearing November.
November is what's being aimed for.
Las Vegas.
Those are
hearing
the
Las
rumblings.
Vegas.
Some jabroni on here.
Come
wants
on,
to know
Carson.
Why,
I think that's his name on there.
Oh,
Is it?
no,
no,
that's
it's not.
him.
Why was
Yeah, disrespectful.
why was
Well, what's
Gervonta
a jabroni? Let's speak to that.
The Rock?
The Rock.
Why was
Do a people's eyebrow
So
right
is the
now,
dude's
Carson.
name what the Rock?
Look, he doing people's eyebrow.
Rock says.
why was Gervonta so concerned about rope tension?
He just looked. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
Wait a minute.
You see it. It all tied together. You see it.
Tank was worried about rope tension.
yeah, that's what somebody said.
My
in the
man
comment.
could foresee his stoppage coming and was worried about his
Also,
opponent
I don't know
falling
who.
out.
I have no
very
clue.
compassionate man. Tank
I don't know who
Davis.
photoshopped Rey Mysterio doing the 619 on Rolly when he was stuck in the ropes, but one of the greatest things I've ever
I
seen.
didn't get it until just right now.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Okay.
So the
Now I get
question:
it.
Why would Tank be concerned about rope tension?
Where did the knockout happen at?
The ropes. Boom.
His pull counter.
Yeah.
If I'm on the ropes and I pull, I need those ropes to move so that I can get back. I don't need myself to think that I'm going back further
then
and
keep
I
going
don't
back?
and I, no.
Back,
I don't
back.
need to. If I think I'm going back here and the rope stops me,
Oh, okay,
I'm
I
not.
got you.
I'm in position to get.
I
clocked.
thought in my mind I'm nervous about like when you lean back in a chair and it keeps going back and you're like, whoa, wait.
A trust fall.
Yeah.
Trust fall.
No, he
Okay,
wanted.
I got you.
He wanted that to be loose.
A
He
little bit
wanted
of
to
a
be able
give.
to play with the ropes and do what he had to do. You know what I mean? So that's why that's where that concern came from. I don't know if there was anything changed or done, but he figured it out and got the job done.
Him and Jermell Charlo, in the last 2 weeks have fought off the ropes beautifully.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you pick a question there, Mr. Question Guy?
No, I didn't. I was,
You're like Jadakiss.
You're the question.
Why?
guy. Come on,
Why is
Carson.
Jadakiss as hard as it gets?
Yeah.
Also, happy belated birthday, Jadakiss.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And Andre
Hey,
3000.
and
I
shout
think
out
the same
shout
day.
out to Jadakiss. I was in the club. They shout out Jadakiss so many times. I thought Jadakiss was
I
there.
thought the locks was there.
Hey, shout out to New York. New York, y'all different, man. Y'all different. Food's amazing though.
New
Y'all
York
got
is fun.
swag. Y'all got hella swag.
You got something there? Showtime before we close up?
Anybody else got anything?
No, Zittel did one, Ant did one, I did one. This was your idea.
Yeah, you on the spot.
Everybody did one but me.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's how it goes.
There's only
Hey,
4 of us.
Carson,
I didn't hear Sean ask.
the people
He
want to
did.
know how can they get you in New York?
You can't?
I told them that. They I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
We told them that.
I think it's important to note for anyone that was unsure, like if it was a decision that I was making, like the swiftness that I said, nope, not going. And it was full. Like, well, now.
I think me and Carson
You
wanna-
inspire me to just say no to things I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good way to go through life, in my
It
opinion.
wasn't even a question. Yeah,
Yeah.
people.
Second it was mentioned, I was like, oh, no, you won't see me there.
Yeah, so you like I said, you always get 50% of the Dudley boys.
Yeah.
I'll try to make it.
Yeah, you'll probably see me at a fight in Vegas or if there's one in Henderson.
What about LA? We get you in LA?
It depends on the fight,
Okay.
but maybe.
Phoenix?
Yeah, probably Phoenix.
Dallas.
No, too far.
I gotta get
Step too
a
far.
long-haired friend to match me so I could be like the Hardy Boys and wrestle you two as the Dudley Boys. And
I like that.
yeah,
So 2 things. I did see one question, but this is Leonard, I saw every time I see him, when you gonna get me on the podcast? So we did. We had a couple of conversations. Yeah. We had a couple of conversations in New York, and we said that we were gonna have him on the show today. I mean, you East Coast to West Coast. Day. It just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
I have a pretty good feeling we'll get him on next week, just to fulfill what we said I said that we were gonna do this week today by having him on. No, he was not on yet. For the gentleman that did ask, but we expect I expect him to come on, if not next week, extremely soon. Like Ann said, he liked to talk, and he really enjoys the podcast, which is pretty cool.
Accidentally called him good looking on the conversation.
Well dressed, that's for sure.
That's what I meant to say.
Beyond that, I'm gonna end the podcast a little bit differently.
And he can promote, man. He has grown his promoter wings.
Yeah.
He could really.
Yeah,
I'm really interested on how you're going to close this.
Boy, because I'm actually going to close this with a little bit of motivation.
Okay.
I was in the back, and I ran into Cat Williams, spoke to him for a second, and he was standing with, who was that?
Lil Mo.
He was standing with Lil Mo. I've known Lil Mo for a little while. You know, we've been acquainted for a little while, and she was with her son, and she said he want to box, but he don't want to go to the gym. And then he shot back at her, and no, it ain't that I don't want to go to the gym. She think I don't want to go to the gym. And then she right back at him, no, I tell you to go to the gym all the time.
Typical mom.
You know, it became this little thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I'm like, my dude. I said, hey, you 13 years old. I've been there before. They think they know what we thinking, and they think they know how we feel. You go ahead and you tell me how you feel. And so, you know, we spoke for just a minute, and I gave him this analogy, or somewhat of an analogy, and this is what I'll close with, because this is relevant to anyone and whatever it is you want to do in life. And quoted to me by my dad, who I love dearly, boxing is just like life. So I'm looking at the kid.
And a box of chocolates, too.
Looking at the kid. He tells me that he wants to box, but he doesn't want to go to the gym every day. Okay. You don't want to go to the gym every day? Cool. Do you want what Tank has? Is that what you want to be to boxing? I mean, you're only 13. You got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a Tank Davis, if you want to be a Showtime Shawn Porter, all of us that you see, Errol Spence Jr., all of us that you see us right now doing what we've done and what we do, you have to go to the gym every day. I said, there's no way around it. I said, think about it like this. I said, you love your mother, right? He said, yeah, I love my mom. I said, now think about it like this. You love your mom, but boxing is what you want. I said, you have to be able to love your mom like this if boxing is what you want. I said, the moment you start giving your mom all your attention, then I replaced mom with what he really said. He said, my life. He said, I got a life. I want to live my life. I said, if you start replacing your life with boxing and you start to look at boxing like this, guess what? Your focus is gone. You're no longer focused on boxing. Now you're looking at boxing. And I said, I didn't do this. Tank Davis didn't do this. Errol Spence Jr. didn't do this. I said, the saying goes, and it's true, it's lonely at the top. In order to be at the top, you've got to give boxing your all. And at the least, you can peak at some other things. I said, but once your peaking starts to turn into looking, and looking starts to turn into admiring, and you're no longer focused and admiring boxing, you're turning your back to boxing, you won't get where Tank is right now. You won't have these big nights that Tank is having. I said, you get it? He said, yeah, man, that make a lot of sense. I said, so I don't know if your mom has ever told you that, but what I'm telling you is if boxing is what you really want, you have to start looking at boxing and only boxing and picking moments where you want to have a life. But when you do have a life, you can only look at that life like this, because the guys that don't look at boxing fully and tend to do like this, those are the guys that don't make it. All that saying.
And the kid said, yeah, just wanted a picture, but okay.
Yeah, no, we got the shot before. And he understood what I was saying, but I'm just saying that to everyone right now, ending this with a little bit of motivation. Whatever it is you want in life, give that your all. Focus on that. Don't be so worried or so concerned with everything that's behind you, because if you allow things that are behind you to take your focus away, you won't get ahead. You won't get to where you're trying to go in life. All that being said,
slow motion is better than no motion. That's my motivation.
You got something?
Just beautiful moment when Rolly's dad walked him out after the ring.
You did mention that.
The whole world is hating you and laughing at you, but that's a beautiful moment when your father can grab you,
Hold you, protect
hold
you,
you,
love
protect you from all the world, and take. It's just a dope moment.
Absolutely.
Ant, what the hell you got?
You was
What the
born
hell
with,
you
baby.
Boom, boom, boom.
All that being said, this is the Porter Way. Thank you to New York, Brooklyn, Lower East Side, everywhere that we were, even Jersey City. Appreciate y'all. We'll let you know when the next live event's gonna happen.
Knowing Shawn is next week.
Or tomorrow.
It might be next week. We'll see what happens. God bless you guys. Thank you for paying attention, watching, supporting. Tell a friend. Tell them a loved
Blue Wire
one.
Studios in the wind.
Blue Wire Network.
All that good stuff. God bless you guys. Have a great day.